can't even begin to tell you the amount of hours I have wasted worrying what other people thought of me. Staying up at night, not being able to sleep, replaying a conversation over and over in my head, wondering, did I step out of line? Was the joke I made actually insulting and not funny? And logically, I knew they didn't care because they were busy with their life. But irrationally, I just couldn't stop this fear. And it would frustrate me and annoy me so much that I worried so much what other people thought. And I also realized it was getting in the way of me really doing and living the life I wanted to live because of this irrational fear of what everyone else thought. And if you're watching this, then I'm almost certain you also have this, what you might consider irrational fear and concern of judgment and what everyone else thinks. And I have managed to come over this and move past this, and I really want to share with you how I did that, because I know how frustrating and how upsetting it can be and how much it can hold you back in life. So I really want to share with you what I did to move on from this, and I hope it allows you to just go out and do what you want to do. So the first thing you need to understand is, why do you have this irrational fear, as you might see it? As species, we are very evolved, but there are parts of us that are really primal. And our primal part, core role is survive. That's all it wants to do, survive. And being in a community means survival. Being in a herd means survival. Being out alone, that means less likely to survive. So we are in our communities now with our friends, with our families. That's how you can see your community, with your colleagues. If you're going to step out and do something different, say something different, that is dangerous from the primal point of view, because you are putting yourself out there and it sees it as a chance that you might get kicked out of the community. And if you get kicked out of the community, then you're going it alone, and the chances of survival are very slim. So this primal part of our brain is constantly scanning for anything and everything it sees that could, basically stop us from surviving. And as I say, as a species, we are evolved, but this primal part, it's still very primal. And I'll give you an example. If you've ever been in a meeting with people you didn't know, and either there was a point where you wanted to ask a question or you wanted to add to a conversation, and for some reason you are getting so nervous before you're going to, say something. And logically, you're telling yourself, this is ridiculous. These are very nice people. Why on earth are you so concerned? But this other part of you, you just can't control it. And your heart's going faster and your palms are getting sweaty. And then, you feel the red. And then you feel the red rising, and then the redder you get, the more nervous it makes you, because now everyone can see that you're nervous, and it's just this horrible cycle. And logically you're saying to yourself, shut up, stop it, this is so stupid, but it doesn't work. But that is the primal part of your brain saying danger. We are in a room with people we do not know. We do not know how they're going to react to us. This is a very dangerous situation, and we need to get out of here ASAP. And of course, this is stronger in some people than others, which is why some people don't flush red every time they speak in a meeting and others do. That primal instinct in there, it's just in them, is very, very strong. So you can't stop that from happening, but you can control it. And the way you can go about controlling it is by recognizing it and creating some distance. So logically telling this part of your brain to just stop it and stop being so annoying and you're being ridiculous, that doesn't work. You have to remember, it is there to protect you. It's doing this out of love. So you need to respond out of love. So first step, recognize it's a part of you. It is not all of you. You as a person are made up of many, many different parts. And this is one part of you. And sometimes these different parts, they get a little bit overconfident. And that's when we start having these internal conflicts. We're having actual internal arguments with ourselves. So try to visualize that it is not me, it is a part of me. And reach out and ask it, what's the matter? Why are you so nervous? What are you here to do? And really listen to its response. What is that part of you saying? Probably like, I'm really nervous, I'm really scared. Try to visualize what it looks like. For me, when I visualize this, what I see is a version of me who is bouncing off the walls, very skinny and just super paranoia. It looks a little bit like, I can't remember the little animal man from Lord of the Rings. That's kind of what this part of me looks like. It's not a very happy part. It's so petrified and scared. And when I visualize that, instead of feeling angry at it, I actually feel sorry for it. So then I want to approach it with love. I create that distance and I want to approach it with love. And I tell it, don't worry, I'm going to take care of you. I'm not going to let anything bad happen. We're in this together and I've got you. I've got your back. I promise you I'm going to protect you. And the reason this is important to do, to create this distance, is that when you're in that moment, when you really have this fear of judgment and fear and concern of what other people are thinking of you, it's really hard to think clearly. Your whole head, it's just sort of this blur. And by creating this distance, you're able to create a bit of space in your head. So that's the first step. And that's why I say it's controlling, it's not stopping. It will never go away, but we can reach out, be nice to it. Now you've created some space in your head, you can actually have a logical conversation. So you want to talk to yourself as if you were giving your friend advice. Again, it's about creating distance. So instead of, now I've created space, instead of saying, well, Alex, you're being really silly, no one's going to think bad about you. Oh, but maybe they will. And then it gets, again, very muddled. Create space. So think, what is it I'm concerned about? Okay, if my friend would say that, what would I say to my friend? And because you're creating distance, it creates perspective. That it's not all up in your head, you're really giving some sound advice to your friend. And then the last step, you just have to push yourself and jump. Because it will only get easier with time as you keep on practicing these steps and you keep on doing. Again, it's all very well creating distance from the primal part and giving yourself advice as a friend, but if you never speak up in that meeting, or you never, whatever it is, share that social media post or start your business or leave your job, it's all just thoughts in your head and it's not actually going to result in anything. So these steps only work if you then follow through. And you'll still feel a bit uncomfortable, but what is going to happen is every time you do those steps and then you push yourself to do what's feeling a bit uncomfortable, it's going to feel less uncomfortable. So again, I'll give you an example for me. When I started my business and I wanted to share posts, I was so nervous. What if people judge me? What if they think it's really bad? What if, I don't know, a troll says something horrible? So I did these steps, got distance, gave advice as a friend, and then I was like, yeah, now you just have to do it. Hit the post button. Nothing happened. No one was horrible. The world didn't end because everyone's so concerned with their own lives. So then the next time I had to do it, I still felt a bit nervous, but less nervous. And then I kept on realizing, okay, nothing bad is going to happen. So you're reassuring yourself and you're reassuring that primal part. See, I told you nothing bad's going to happen. But what will happen, something else will come up in its place. So something new that maybe you're worried about, that judgment and that fear. So again, you have to keep on going through these steps. And it is, again, from a logical point of view, good to remember, everyone is at the center of their own universe. So this is a great bit of advice to give yourself when you're worried about that. Did I say something to upset someone? Or if I tell someone I want to start my own business, or if I tell people I want to change careers, they're all at the center of their own universe. They're all walking around wondering what everyone's thinking about them. They're not that concerned with what we're doing. And also, something that's so important to remember is the people you're most worried about, are they even going to be in your life in 10 or 20 years? Because for most of us, when we have that fear of what others think, I think we probably have a few key pictures in our head of who those people are, and they're not our close friends, they're not our family, they're just people who have maybe had a big impact in our life and we feel a certain way about them. Are they even important to you? Are they still going to be rooting for you in 10 years? Because if they're not, just forget about it. Don't let people who aren't even important in your life dictate how you live. Write that down on a piece of paper if you need to. Do it for you and do it for the people that love you. Don't not live your life for fear of what people who aren't even important to you will think about you. Don't let them have that control. So as I say, these are the steps I took to stop worrying so much what other people think of me, and it's really allowed me to just live a happier life. I do what I want to do, and of course there are still moments when I have those concerns, but then I follow these steps and I push myself and I realize, yeah, it's all good. So let me know if you're gonna do this, if you are going to push yourself, and what is the first thing you're going to push yourself to do that you've been holding back on. I hope you found this video useful. I hope it allows you to go out there and be more confident with who you are and live the life you want to live. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and as always, I really hope to see you in the next video.